Oregon versus Arizona. Oregon, great team, but this is not the same Arizona Wildcats from last season when they went 1-11. The Wildcats are 3-2, and they're far better and improved than last year. Jaden DeLora, he's a throwing machine. He's a throwing machine. The last two games, he's thrown for over 400 yards. Last week's game against Colorado, he had 6 touchdowns. And so far this season, he has 14. So who do you got in this game?
This is going to be a close game as well, especially because, again, it's also a conference game. Oregon is trying to bounce back from that shellacking they took from Georgia at the beginning of the season. And I think people already had Oregon in the conversation, but after the just beat down Georgia gave them, everybody's kind of stepping back and saying, hey, this may not be the team we think it is. However, after that game with Georgia, they've been very good. They've, won consistently. The Washington State game was a close one, but I think they took it all in stride and they said, hey, this was close. We need to get back to fundamentals. Bo Nix has been very well, especially after that first week. And you're right, Jaden DeLora, he is a machine. I don't want to say Heisman Trophy because he does have quite a bit of interceptions so far, but he's in the mix too, especially looking at nearly 1,700 yards already. Arizona, they've had a couple of tough losses. The one from Cal a couple of weeks ago, I think that could have turned it around for them. But, last week beating Colorado was a great way to step up. This week, I see it being kind of close. I think it's going to be a quarterback matchup. I think it's going to be Nix and DeLora just trading, a touchdown for touchdown. This is probably going to be high scoring. Both teams, they have nearly about 500 total yards, but Oregon gives up a little bit less. They give up around 375, but Arizona still gives up nearly 400. So I can see this being, high scoring, both teams in the 40s. So, but I'm going to make it close. I'm going to say Oregon takes this 45-40.
As good as Arizona's offense is, but Oregon could torture them with the running game because Arizona hasn't been impressive with the rushing defense. I mean, the Ducks are 10th in the county with 228 rushing yards. So if Oregon runs the ball, it's going to be a long day for Arizona. I do think it's a high scoring game as well, but something in me tells me to go with a somewhat of an upset. So I'm gonna go with Arizona 42-40.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. And you're right about the run game for Oregon. They don't allow a lot of rushing yards. They barely allow 100. But Arizona, they allow over 200 rushing yards. So that running game could be the difference in this game, especially if it does get close to where Arizona is looking for an upset. And like any, people say in NFL, any given Sunday. For college football, it's any given Saturday. And we nearly saw it, with Georgia and Missouri. So any team that is facing a ranked opponent or even a higher ranked opponent, it's going to be good. And I think for these two teams, other teams are actually looking at them too. So if Arizona pulls this out, don't be surprised that other teams like UCLA are looking at to say, hey, they can beat them. We can beat them too.